Oh, we have plenty more on this Tuesday. Many parents, students, and educators are faced with the reality now of online virtual learning for the start of this upcoming school year. In this segment, a life coach shares some helpful insights that can get you started.
The month of August typically means the final trips of summer and the excitement of back to school. However, back to school will be quite different this fall. Today, we're joined by Deborah Porter, life coach for moms and founder of Moms Mentoring Circle, to talk about the health and educational considerations you should be making in the coming weeks. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning. How are you today?
I am doing well, and this is an important conversation. I know that you have spent some time being a life coach for moms. You're spending time talking with professionals about what this new normal looks like and best practices that parents can take forward, especially given the anxieties about what this new normal is. So tell us a little bit about these interview experiences you've been conducting.
Absolutely. This was really important for me to do for the moms of my community and for the viewers because there's so much to consider right now. So I interviewed 5 professionals that will serve us in different capacities as parents, a pediatrician, an online educator, homeschooler, and others. And the purpose of the interviews was to allow moms to get their specific questions answered about what do I need to know concerning this new school year. This is all brand new for us. And in some cases, we don't know what we don't know. And so these professionals were there to help give us information so that when we make these decisions for our kids this upcoming school year, we can make them from a place of knowledge and not out of emotion or fear.
Yeah, and I think that encouragement for parents is really important right now. As I was looking through the notes, and we're going to focus on 2 of those professionals today, the pediatrician and then the entrepreneur and homeschooler. So when it comes to the feedback of the pediatrician, I was encouraged to see that, many parents will find them to be very kind of basic feedback, just a reminder of what we should be doing. So tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So Dr. Hokehi F. Young out of Oklahoma gave us, I was very surprised about that as well. I was expecting some kind of new thing that we should be doing. And really what she started with was the importance of rest and making sure that our children are getting enough sleep because that is part of the immune system. Resting really does help our immune system to be strong. And so she started there. And then we went from rest to diet. And Dr. Hokehi made it very clear that children should be eating the rainbow. And what she meant by that was a variety of fruits and vegetables because food is medicine, is the way she put it. And so as our kids are getting the appropriate rest, as they are providing their body with the appropriate nutrients, even if some of that includes a nutritional supplement, all of that is going to work to strengthen our children's immune systems, which is really what we want for them right now. We want them to be strong. We want their bodies to be able to fight. The other thing she mentioned, which is something we've been hearing all across the board, is washing our hands. And her point here was that if your child is going into the school building, if that is the arrangement your district has made, once they come back home, they should wash their hands and change their clothing before interacting with anyone in the home. You just want to be a little extra careful as we're considering children being back in the school building, even with social distancing, even with masks being worn, and especially if someone lives in a home that has a compromised immune system in any way. So those were her top suggestions. The other thing that she really wanted us to keep in mind was when the children do come back into the home at the end of the day, the backpack should be somewhere away from the center of the home. So it shouldn't end up on the kitchen counter or anywhere where food is being prepared or even in their bedrooms, maybe in a garage, a back porch, but somewhere away from the main areas of the home.
Yeah, and what I'm really hearing is back to school, back to basics, right? All the things that we know that we should be doing, really keeping the germs as isolated as possible is important, but it's not anything that is so pivotal or so new that parents really have to feel more anxiety than the act of, potentially sending a child into a school. Now, when we talk about, going to school, there's also a population that is not physically going back to a school, and they've chosen to homeschool. So what advice did you receive from that homeschool parent?
This woman is amazing. She is a business owner, entrepreneur, as well as a homeschooler. And she's been doing both of those things for about 10 years now. Her name is Yaya Smith. She's out of Louisiana. And both of those things are thriving in her home. And, I've never really talked with someone in depth that's doing both of those things and both are succeeding. Here's what she wanted us to know. If your school is already going 100% virtual, she wants you to consider homeschooling. And here's why. With homeschooling, you have complete control over how that day looks. You have complete control over the curriculum you choose, the hours that your children are actually doing schoolwork. And depending on your state's criteria, you can also use home skills and life learning skills as part of your curriculum. Her husband is a woodworker, so her children have wood shop as part of their curriculum. Their family owns a community garden where they actually grow food for their community. And so they're able to work that into their curriculum. So the thought was, if it's already going to be a virtual experience, we already know that virtual learning and homeschooling are two different things, although homeschooling has virtual components. But if your school is 100% virtual, she wants moms to really realize that they do have all that they need to really choose to homeschool if that's something that they've been thinking about.
That's so important, is to really identify what works best with your family and where you have strengths and lessons that your children can learn in creative ways to make sure that they're actually having a wonderful experience in what is this new normal. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. We got to remember that all learning is not academic. There's everyday things that our children are learning from.
Absolutely. And we live that life every day after school, right? We're understanding as adults that you learn something new every day. And many of those times it's in unconventional ways. And so this is just an opportunity to introduce children to this a little bit earlier than maybe they would. So important. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
To learn more about the services and the research of Mom's Mentoring Circle, we invite you to our website, wtbr.com/BTM.